Academy Award, this guy.
Yeah.
And he said every time he shows up on set to this day to direct a movie, he thinks somebody's gonna like show up and find him out. It's called imposter syndrome, right?
Yeah.
It's a big thing. Like when people like at whatever level you are, you can have this imposter syndrome. Like, I'm not a coach yet, like what you just did. Well, you are, because you're doing it. And he's like, every time I step on set, he's like, I think people are gonna find out that I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah.
I love that because he's like, it's the truth. He's like, you have all your experience. It's not to deny where you've come from or your experience, but the new puzzle and the new challenges that are going to arise, I have freaking no idea. We're not at the end of the film. We're not at the end project. We're at the beginning of it. So I have a vision. I have freaking no idea how we're going to get from here to there. We're going to like navigate it, right? And so I hear that time and time again from so many different type of people, different fields, different. I know a yoga instructor who I look at her and I go, you're amazing, because all she does is travel the world. She was an elementary school teacher and now she just travels the world. Like, she lived in Australia the last 2 years. She was in Panama. She's in Costa Rica. She does retreats.
Wow.
Her social media looks like a damn travel magazine. You know what I mean? And she's always just chilling, right? And I'm like, how do you? And she's like, I'm just figuring it out. Just figuring it out. Like, all of us are just figuring it out. So welcome to the club, Dante. And
Thanks, Karen.
that, like, you just figure out, wait, so if I'm just figuring it out, then I can just do like what I want. And that's the big crazy secret part of it, because you're like, the society or programming wants to say, no, you can't.
Yeah.
And then there's this other part, and the people that have tapped into this, they know, yeah, you can do whatever the hell you want. Like, whatever.
See, it's so crazy that you say that, because I find myself in those positions where I'm kind of looking at the other coaches, right? I'm looking at, well, how are you guys doing things, and how, right? Because it's exactly right. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. They do. They all know, right? Right. But it feels almost constrained. They feel constrained. I want to be like a bigger, louder, well, not a Richard Simmons, but I'm like, there could be more fun to this. There could be a different way we go about this. And I'm restraining myself because of that, because it's just like, oh, should I do that? Can I do that? Am I supposed to do that?
Yes, because that's you and that's your talent. And I love that you're saying this, because this is the invisible part. We're talking about it right now, but it's really challenging to talk about it, because it's like this invisible thing. You're like, what the hell? And that's what the dark night of the soul is, right? It's like this battle between like, is that possible? And then like the ego being like, no, it's not possible. And the world told you it's not, and
Right,
it's
they're
gotta
not
be
doing that.
hard.
Right.
Yeah, you can't do that. And then you find proof and evidence that that's true. Or you can do it the other way, right? And it is like mind blowing, because we go, well, no, someone has to be to blame though, because then I would just wave a magic wand and be like a multimillionaire. Sure, but you have to believe it. That's the thing. And then now you battle it. You're like, wait, I don't believe that though. Well, why not? Well, because, and then you come back to terms with like, what is the yeah, but?
Yeah.
Why are they better than you?
Yeah.
And I love what you're talking about, Dante, because when I've been teaching now for I've been teaching for 10 years. I've had my studio for 9. And before that I taught, but not like, this is my job, my career, like whatever. I thought that too, especially as a yoga teacher early on coming into teaching yoga. I was like, I came from a lineage with my acting and yoga, which I want to go back anyway, I digress. My lineage in yoga teacher training are like some pure like yogis, right? Like that come from like old school yoga when it wasn't popular. No one was doing it. Like if you did it, you were like, are you in a cult? What is wrong with you? Like, you know what I mean? Like they were part of that group in LA. because LA is like where it first came, you know, big cities are, that's why fashion goes to LA, New York. It's like big cities. So India, it's like, had come to LA. And just like in the 70s, it wasn't normal to go to the gym unless you were training for the Olympics. Gyms weren't like, everybody didn't just go to the gym. Like,
Right.
I'm gonna go swim laps or whatever. People didn't do that. It wasn't a cultural thing. And then gyms were born, right? And suddenly people, wait, you can just go to be healthy. You don't have to be training for the Olympics or be on a basketball team or whatever, right? And so it became more normalized. I'm like going down a huge rabbit hole. Hold on, let me try to reel myself back in.
I'm listening.
Okay, so my yoga teachers, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so my yoga teacher and then his yoga teacher, Mati Azrati, who died like a few years back, they ended up training just because of where they were in Los Angeles, like famous yoga teachers. But that's not like, yoga is not about being famous, right? But like they just ended up being famous.
Right.
And what was the whole point of this? Oh yeah. So at first I was really intimidated because I'm like, these guys are like on the cover of freaking Yoga Journal. Like, what do I have to, like, literally, like they would be like on the cover of Yoga Journal and then teaching and like, but they were lovely. They were lovely, lovely people. And it was so amazing because they were like the true yoga. It wasn't pretentious and it was really cool. And like, so I thought, well, what do I have to impart? Like, what do I have to say? And I remember this one teacher who, she was, you know, like just old school and was famous and everything. She's like, you have to impart because it's you. And like, yoga is not all about like a handstand, right? Like you could do yoga your whole life and never do a handstand, meaning it's not all about the show of something. And yoga and teaching and all that is about the journey. And your journey is what has the magic and power. It's not the, here's my handstand, like
Yeah.
finished result thing, right? And that's what we always think it's about, but it's not. So I used to think that early on as a teacher, what do I have to impart? And then luckily I got hired at some yoga studios who at first, some yoga studios were like, we don't want anything, don't talk, don't just do, you know, and then
Yeah.
other places wanted you to be more like, tell your life experience and do Dharma talks and stuff like that. And so I started getting more comfortable, but here's my point, long way around to get to it. Now, here I am, 510 years old, not really, but like, you know, it's
Oh.
weird how age catches up on you, right? And I am learning and be really inspiring and humbling from 20-year-olds. And I'm going, there, teach me. And then I go, why did I think I had nothing to? So at any age, at any level, I don't care who you are, if you're coming out of the gate with zero experience, if you have something to share, there is something valuable there. And I don't think of these people like, oh, you're 20, you're an idiot. I'm like, oh my God, teach me. Like
Yeah.
when they have something valuable to share that I don't know or I don't understand, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're famous. It doesn't matter if they're rich, poor, young, old. So that's what we need to remember. Like there's value in you at any age, at any level of experience. So don't put that off until some other time to finally validate you as like a leader. Like you are that now.
That's cool. That's cool that you say that. That applies to so many other things that I've been thinking of over like the last few days. Thank you. That's awesome.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I believe that you have gifts and talents to share, and I'm here to help you tap into your authenticity through empowering videos, talks, meditation, and other tools to help you empower up. You got this. You can watch this video next or this one. You pick. Oh, and if you haven't yet, please do subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when these are posted. So much love. to you.